Hey guys, today we have two snake games for the color computer. I don't ever remember any snake game being sold commercially, unless maybe it was a mini game that was part of some, larger game. But back in the 8-bit days when you could get books of computer games to type in, and when there were, magazines devoted to just about every computer out there, and those magazines had games you could type in. Most computers, somebody had wrote at least one and frequently several versions of this game because it's not that difficult to program in terms of game logic. The premise is that you're on the screen, and when you get a certain object on the screen, in this case it's mugs of root beer, your snake gets longer, and if you touch the edges of the screen or the snake itself doubles back on itself, then the game ends. This game here has a little bit of an added twist in that it has snake pits, and if you hit a snake pit you don't die, but your snake gets shorter. The whole idea of the game is to see how long you can make your snake before it runs into itself or into the side of the screen. These games, like I say, they're fairly simple, and practically every platformer out there had one. But they're a lot of fun to play. I've played several versions on the color computer, and have enjoyed just about every one of them. The second game coming up here is actually called Centipede. But it's still the same game. It's still a snake game. But this time they call it Centipede. The same premise here. You go along and hit, this case it's an asterisk, and I don't know in particular what the asterisk is supposed to represent. The twist on this game is that after a certain amount of time the asterisk will disappear. That's not a problem right now because you can easily get to it before it disappears. But later on, when your centipede, in this case, normally a snake in this type of game, gets longer, then you have a harder time getting to the asterisk before it disappears. I actually got along quite well with this game, so I'm not going to show you all of my gameplay today. But there's one thing about today's gameplay that really gets my goat, and that is that I tied my all-time high score in this game. I don't mind coming up short of the high score. That's frequently going to happen. In fact, it's the norm. And obviously, I don't mind setting a new high score. But when you tie your high score, and then that's it, you always are thinking to yourself, if I just made that last turn, if I just lasted that bit longer, I could have set a new high score. So that's sometimes the most aggravating thing that can happen to you. But I've really enjoyed playing these games today, and I hope you've enjoyed these walkthroughs.